Well, I'm going to tell you a little story today. In a video to come, you're going to see where I had my dust collector and wanted the dust collector, of course, to come on when the saw came on and then go off about 10 seconds after the saw went off. In that video to come, I show the end result of what I got it to work. I put it in, so I got a picture of it in place where it belongs. But anyway, if you like it, subscribe, ring the button. If you don't like it or if you got suggestions, give me suggestions. I thought it was a good project. It was a little long. Anyway, thank you. Enjoy the video to come. Have a good day. Today I'm going to go over a few things, kind of like what not to do and some things what to do. One thing not to do is don't take a camera apart. We were shooting yesterday, moving the cameras out to the garage. The still camera, a little movie camera, Optima, fell off the tripod. Kind of like went kaboom. Okay, didn't hurt the lenses, but jammed the shutter inside. Something came unhooked, the screen didn't work. Called Olympus. Well, we took it to a shop to see if they could fix it. They said, well, we'll send it to Boulder. It'll take 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks. If they're too busy, they're just going to ship it off to Olympus. Then Olympus will give you an estimate. So we called Olympus. Be over 300, 350. By the time we packaged it up, shipped it to them, shipped it back, mixed it in, it's going to be 300 plus. I thought, well, nice camera. So we decided to take it apart and fix it. Okay, so grandson worked on computers, built computers, took them apart, put them back together. Okay, so he got online, found a video on how to take this camera apart. So here he is taking pieces off, and he's got tape laid out and putting all the screws on where they go, marking them, labeling them, making sure everything is in the right spot so he can put it back together again. So he's fiddling and farting. Like a lot of things, these components are all soldered together. So you take one off, it's got solder connection. So you got a little piece here that's got a wire on it. And if you move, little bitty light stuff. You ever worked on electronic stuff for computers or anything like that? It's got some little bitty hair wires, and they're soldered on. And in the factory, everything is kind of neat and controlled, and you know just exactly what to do. And over here, you put these pieces together. Then when you get ready to assemble it, you can bring it over and you solder those pieces on and then flop it in place. Well, when you want to take this stuff off, you can't just take it off because wires are flopping around. Well, long story short, we got in there, took a piece apart, and the mechanism pieces that had separated when it was dropped just fell out. I have no way to know where they went back in. Was it a bad thing we tore it apart? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could have sent it back to the factory and it wouldn't have been so much, but they told us it'd be $300. And on some of them things, it just isn't worth sending it in, waiting 3 or 4 months to get the piece back when we want a camera today to do what we're doing. So he's taking stills. He was doing the stuff to help put this on the screen so you guys can see kind of what we're doing. But now I got a whole bunch of little screws and a camera that doesn't work and a new camera on the way. It'll be here in a couple days. Good thing. I got a dust collector. Goes on when I start the motor on my saw. Start the saw, and I want the motor to come on my vacuum, my dust collector. Why? I don't know how many times I go over the saw. My miter saw, I reach up, I grab it. Dust everywhere. Forgot to turn the vacuum on. Done that on table saw. You get a piece of wood on there, get the saw running, Get ready to push it in, dust starts flying, and I'm sitting there going, I forgot to turn on the dust collector again. Oh well. So, to fix this, when I saw, turn on a saw, turn on my router, turn on my sander, got a belt sander, I want it to turn on the vacuum. So I'll go online, I'm sitting there searching on Amazon and just searching. Okay, so I come up with, they do make, commercially, they make a little box, which is about $30. You can plug it in the wall, and it has 2 outlets. So one outlet, you take your saw, the other one, you take your vacuum. That puts both of them on the same circuit. And most of the time that's going to work on a small shop, which is fine. But that's one saw. But I want to use that same vacuum on another saw. Well, so I found another one. But still, it was just set up for one device. It was a little more heavy duty. It had 2 outlets. One for vacuum, or your dust collector, which is a vacuum. The other one for your saw. It had 2 cords coming out of it. One cord was for a heavier circuit, say a 20 amp circuit, and the other one for the vacuum, say a 15 amp circuit. So you could run them on 2 circuits, so they'd both run okay. Well, that worked good, but still, back to the same thing. That was $50, and it only ran one item. So I came up with, being an electrician, I know you take relays, you take some circuits, you take they call this one a current switch. So I've got a current switch right here. As soon as power runs through, the power's running through on these white wires. It reads the neutral wire, not the hot, which seems funny to me. But anyway, it reads the current being drawn when you start the saw. It closes, turn on a switch. As soon as the switch closes, it puts power on this relay. Now my infinite delay, which is in the bottom here, actually it's going to be in the top when I get it done because it's going to be sitting like this. So it's not going to be doing anything along with this relay until I turn this relay off. As soon as I turn this relay off, this is going to tell this to run the vacuum for another 20 or 30 seconds. So this relay, infinite delay relay, is going to control this relay. Now I could have done away with this relay, just ran the vacuum right out of this little electronic. I don't want to burn up my little electronic control. I want this electronic control to be safe. So I put in this other relay because it's a whole lot easier to plug and unplug these if they go bad and tear the whole board apart. So I will finish putting this together. Current switch, infinite delay, 2 relays. Power coming in for vacuum, neutral. This reads the neutral off my 20 amp circuit. Okay, little update on my circuit board. As you can see, I've got it taken apart again. Well, the infinite relay was not what I needed. Just kind of messed everything up. So I found another relay, which I will share in just a little bit. But it worked. Everything was right, except the infinite relay would not turn it off every time. It would take a double set of power to operate it. Had to click the saw twice, and then it started the timer, then it would come off, and then it would start again. So
The infinite part, that has me confused. I'm not too sure what that, because it's electronics and that blows my mind. All I'm going to need now is 2 relays. One of the relays I had. The other relay is a timing relay, a 0 to 30 seconds. It's a whole lot simpler, so all you got to have is just 2 relays. I'm using 2 cube relays. But anyway, that's kind of where that is. Here's my dust collector. Let me back off a little bit. Okay, so there's a Cyclone, my old vacuum. It still works pretty good. You can see part of my dust port right there, that 2-inch plumbing PVC. Come in here. I don't know if you can see down here on the floor. Try to keep it straight. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of hard. I got another Y in there ready to shoot off in another direction. But I'm going to also have my air compressor in here sometime. So we'll maybe build a little shelf to put that vacuum up a little higher. Okay, I got 3-wire flat cord here. Got 2 grays. Which one's hot? Which one's neutral? Well, the ribbed one. You'd have to look. Most all of them have at least 1 rib down through here. This one actually has multiple ribs. The multiple ribs is the identified conductor. The identified conductor is neutral. Come on, cut them off. So what I did, make them tight so one doesn't accidentally fall out. I put a switch together, taped it up so the guy wouldn't get shocked. So this is going to be my power for right now. We'll call this my current switch. Once I get one in, that works. So as soon as I get power in on this purple wire, it'll close the relay, which then should give me power on this red one. Okay. This ought to work. It's light, easy to move around, easy to carry. So let's see. We need a neutral on it. So I guess we'll add neutral over here. Okay, again, neutral is the ribbed wire. Okay, now our first relay. We'll put the first relay in before we add the second relay. We'll just see if I can get one relay to work. Okay. So here's the relay, 115 volt coil. So turn the relay on. I get nothing. That's because I didn't plug it in yet. Okay. No sparks, I guess that's a good thing. Okay. Okay. Relay. Oh, turn on. Okay. You can see that. So
that works. So we got the neutral and the power to operate this. Now, I need power on number 8 because we need 8 and 5 on this relay. You'll notice when you get one of these, it's going to have, and I can draw it up, and you can, it's an 8-pin relay. It's 2 and 7 are always a coil. You got power into 1 or power into 8. 1 and 4 are normally closed. The 3 is normally open. The 8 and 5 are normally closed, and 6 is normally open. Okay, so you got a time, it's kind of like the same thing, but it's saying that you use 8 and 5, which is the normally closed contact for the timer. Okay. So this is where it gets a little confusing on my part. So we have two different things here. We can either get power off of our switch leg, but it won't leave us power. So as soon as this relay kicks out, it's not going to leave any power to go on through to make this keep running. So let us get another, here's a short, here's a piece of black wire. This is just what I wanted. So we will put this black wire underneath terminal 8. If I keep doing this, I'm going to have to solder them little wires so I got a nice end. Okay, so this one has to come back over here underneath this side and go underneath this hot wire. Should have unplugged that. It's a habit from being, when you're a troubleshooter in a house and you're trying to fix something, you can't go turn the power off because you can't find the problem because everything's dead. So you have to leave the power on. But anyway, okay, so this to this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, we'll unplug the power, put in this relay. And that light's just gonna, what I figured out, as you can see, I'm gonna set this back down to, let's say a couple of seconds. Turn it on, works, turn it off, goes off after a few seconds. Now let's set this up to 10 seconds while I'm talking. So, what I came to figure out in my time of wondering, this wires up just like the instructions said. The tricky part is in this first relay, and so you've got your power in to the relay to make it close, neutral. So you've also got power all the time on 1 and 8. So 1 and 8 give you power to go to the left side, normally open, normally closed. The right side, normally open, normally closed. So what I did was I got my circuit in there, it's hot, so it goes to both 1 and 8. On the normally closed contact, means with no power on it, it goes to this relay, which is a timing relay. Number 3 comes over here and ties to the hot going to my light or the vacuum. And actually I'm going to add another relay in there, so this will operate a relay, because this doesn't have enough amp pull draw rating, so I'm going to have to do another relay to take this to the vacuum so I don't burn up a relay. After finding out that other relay box that I put together wasn't quite the way I wanted it, and the current switch was bad, I went ahead and ordered another one. Got a bigger box. This is my current switch. It reads the neutral wire off of my power coming to the vacuum. It reads the white wire, the neutral. It turns the switch closed, which operates this relay. This relay in turn puts power to the timing relay, and going through the timing relay, it turns on this relay, which runs the vacuum. When the vacuum or the saws turn off, the vacuum, this relay will stay pulled in until this timer closes out. It's up to a 30-second timer. I've got it set on 10 seconds, and it seems to be plenty amount of time. This is the vacuum down here. I've also got this red wire comes in from a switch, so in case I want to use the vacuum or the dust collector when the saw's not running, I just flip on this switch and it pulls straight up, bypasses all the relays, and comes right straight down here. This is my outlet down here on the bottom, and it's plugged in down here underneath. My first box, I had it set up for power to come in, hit my current switch, hit the first relay. First relay activated the vacuum. It also turned on a delay cycle timer. It was an infinite cycle, and I'm not too sure what that was. It's not what I wanted. It was supposed to, as soon as the power dropped out of the first relay, this was going to turn on the second relay and operate the vacuum. Well, I thought the cycle duty timer wasn't working, so I took it out and took the system apart. Come to find out the current relay, our current switch, was bad. So I scrapped that one. This is my second one I went with, as you've seen in the video. The current switch comes in, turns on the first relay, which puts power then to the vacuum, and at the same time it puts current to the timing relay. The timing relay then just kind of sits there till the power goes off. The timing relay also has power to it, and when the first relay kicks off, the second one kicks in, runs the vacuum for 20 seconds. So that's pretty much it. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thanks again.